Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Phil from Aztech, and we just took delivery of a new Geoprobe 3200 probe drill rig, and I'd like to thank you for joining us today and watch this video. We're going to do a quick overview of the rig and what it can do. It's on a new Freightliner, and we decided to purchase this vehicle and rig after we bought one of the 3230 DTs, which is a very similar rig. It's the same rig but track mounted. I called Victor from Geoprobe and asked him what might be available in a truck rig, and he had one of these ready to go. So we took delivery of it, haven't even got it licensed yet. I'll just do a quick walk around. It's the basics of the truck. It's got a few toolboxes, lacking a couple toolboxes, which I'd like: a rod box, a water tank, rod racks over here, where we have some 3 3/4 inch probe tooling and some macro core tooling, sample barrels. Around back, the control panel is buried in this box, and we'll take that out in a minute. It swings out of the way. Mud tub rack up here, and another toolbox, and an auger rack on this side. This is outfitted with a Moino 3L8, pretty good size pump, and it is a PTO engine, truck engine driven rig. So we also have an auger rack, which is pretty neat here. The only issue that I have with the auger rack is I'm guessing that somebody will use it as a step. How it stays, but with some little pull-out plates so you can roll the augers out. We're going to put an air oiler on, which we have received, but we haven't mounted it yet. It's going to mount in here somewhere so we can run downhole hammer. Come around to the back, we'll open up the control panel. Getting the way out of the weather. As I said, this is essentially the same rig as our 3230, which we've been very happy with. I pull the pin. Release the latch and swing out the control panel. It's very adjustable. You can pull the pin here, swing the arms around any way that the driller would like to have it. I'll just leave it a little bit out of the way right now for this test drive. Okay. Release that. Open it up. Basically the same control panel as our 3230, with the exception of the PTO drive, and of course no tracks. Start this thing up. Thanks. Okay. Go ahead and start it up there, Bob. We ran it a few minutes ago, so the hydraulic fluid should be warm. I'll engage the PTO. Give it a little engine, and we'll put the mast up. Have to hold the interlock button. over some of the features of the rig. As I said before, this is an identical rig to our tracked model, and with that we've done hollow stem auger work, split spoon geotech sampling, coring, air hammer, roller bit. What else have we run? And of course, dual wall macro core sampling and single wall macro core sampling. So if you look at this has the new Geoprobe 4-speed head, has adjustability on the console for 2 speeds, and then it doubles the speed here so that we can slow this down for auger work and speed it up for coring. It's also got the G870 hammer in the back, which I guess I should have put it up in the air first, so I'll restart it. Head up, Bob. Assistant here operates the 3230. So as you see here, the 4-speed rotary head and the GH70 hammer in the back. This coupling removes, and we can put in a water swivel or air swivel, which we have over here on the floor, or we can run an adapter for a hollow stem auger head. The rig is pretty adaptable. We've angle drilled with the other rig. This will angle drill as well. And I'll start up here. The head, of course, slides back and forth. We have a 140-pound auto hammer, which swings into place when the head is swung out of the way. It's got a breakout wrench and a rod clamp down here at the bottom. It also has a rod clamp here for pulling the probe rods. So when you're probing, you can leave this entire apparatus swung out of the way. And you can leave that completely swung out of the way. If you want to pull the rods, you can either use the 8,000-pound winch or this rod clamp, or you can pull the rods directly with an adapter on this head. It has leveling jacks. It also tips side to side to align with the hole. Basically, that's the rig. And now what I want to do is show you a little bit of the tooling that we use with it. Here is a piece of 3 3/4 sample barrel. With this sample barrel, this is very, very useful. With this sample barrel, we can do a lot of things. If we wanted to run our traditional split spoon sampler through it, we would probe down with a shoe which will allow the sample barrel to fit through. We can do our split spoon sampling. When we get to rock, we can then clean it out with a roller bit and seat the casing into the rock, and then we can run a NX core barrel through the rods. So we can do geotech work without having to use 4 1/4 or smaller hollow stem augers. The other nice thing about this tooling is you can put in an expendable point, which I have one here somewhere. Any points laying around here, Bob? Put a point holder in. Oh, this is an expendable point. You can put in an expendable point, load a sample sleeve into a barrel, to a sample barrel, and do dual wall sampling to depth. Screw it down tight. Do dual wall sampling to depth. That might not go. When we get down to depth, you can pull that barrel out, the sample barrel out. We would drive out the expendable point, and then we could set a pre-pack. I think I have some 2-inch pre-packs here somewhere. Here's one. And you can set a 2-inch pre-pack well right through your probe barrels. So it's really a very versatile tooling setup. And this rig with the GH70 hammer has the ability to drive this stuff and larger. We're currently tooled only with the 3 3/4 barrels, but Geoprobe does make a lot larger sizes up to 6-inch. So that's basically what we have with this new rig. We're real excited to get this thing out there. As soon as we get it registered, it'll be out on its test run. We just picked it up. We're just loading. We still have some more tooling to load on it, as well as we have to put this oiler for the air on it, and the sample extruder has to get mounted. So we have a little bit of work to do on it. And then we'll be in action. And I'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch this video today. And if you have any questions, shoot me an email or a text or a phone call. And if you, I guess you can reach us through Facebook as well and LinkedIn. Thanks for your